We just picked this up at an estate sale. Islands do really well for me. I thought, you know what, let's just glue the top back when we were there, call it good, put it in the booth. But once you get looking at it, we knew this was broken. But out of the house and into our shop, damage. And I kind of like a butcher block where it's clean. You just wax it, and this one has, as you can tell, has been stained. So try to bring that back to its original. And then the bottom has staining. Yes, it is. It's a heavy piece. It's hard to get a hold of islands, but they do sell really well usually. When we find them, probably this might be the biggest one I've ever had. We knew going into it that the butcher block was split. And then now that I get looking at it, you can tell that the butcher block was stained. And I think it would be better just to sand it all off and start fresh. So what I thought was just going to be a quick flip is going to be a little bit more work. And then we were determining colors, like white, cool, classic would go with everything. But since it has the storage on the bottom, staining. And then I'm like, well, black. Well, black would show dust, flour, if you're a cooker. And so we'll have to see which color I decide. I'm sure some of you probably know what I'm probably fond of. So, and then we keep toyed with like putting casters on it, but it's already super tall. Casters would make it easier to move. You add casters, that increases the value. But if he has casters on hand, we might. My island's kind of a little bit taller than that, but because it's so big, it'd be nice to put casters on it to be able to move. But we'll see what we have in our stash. That's our plan. However you finish it up is how you finish it up, but I can.
Before I glue this up, though, I want to get rid of this dry glue to help the bond a little better and also to clean it up. You can tell it's kind of greasy. Now, I've seen on videos where they do this, because this does have a small little gap here. And I'm hoping that I can put some glue in there, but I got to get it down inside. So what I've seen them do, so let's run it across the surface like this. Then they'll grab their shop vac and run it from the back side to help suck it into where it needs to go. There you go. Well, it's got to be better than what it was.
So here's his stash of this would be what I would think. But do have at least two with the locking mechanism.
That one locks.
That one locks.
That one locks.
There you go.
These ones are free spin.
There you go. I don't think they'll make it super tall. Okay.
It's going to raise it up about 3 more inches.
Yeah, I don't think that'll make it bad. It'll just be easier to move. But you definitely want something, you don't want to be pushing against your island and have it move. So the locking ones are huge.
And these have a nice rubber base, so you're not going to scratch any floors.
And since we already have them, we're not increasing the price by having to order them.
These are just auction extras that I've gotten.
So they're auction, like when he gets lots from auction, somebody else had a purpose for them. So I'm going to sand this a little bit, see how clean I can get it. Dawn dish soap, hot water. Wipe it all down. Slats are not the funnest at all. I'm going to prime this using shellac. I could brush it on, but the chances of getting lots of drips. Okay, like a pancake.
Which way? Do you want to flip it that way?
I don't know. I don't know. Just awkwarding. It's just awkward. Feel like you could have done a better job on your own. Okay, perfect. So I really kind of thought I wanted to go with bayberry, but this is all the bayberry I have. Don't you hate that? And I feel like it's going to take more than that. Or do I do this? Like, so the bottom that you're really not going to see, but I feel needs painted. So fusion milk paint, fusion paint. I think I'm going to paint the areas on the bottom with this. I think they're the same color, or they're going to be close. I just love character. Y'all know I love character, crackling and all that. And then this is a top coat, primer, paint all in one. So why not? Why not test it out and see what it does? Bottom area is raw. Most of it's raw. And I didn't sand it necessarily. So this is, I just poured the fusions out of the bottle into a cup. I'm actually going to try a little extra bond in here to see what it does. I figure it can't hurt. Just guesstimating. That looks good. Just play. Just have fun, play. You mix one together. I know you're supposed to mix it with probably milk paint, but my paint, I've had it for a while, so it seemed a little thick anyway. So I thought that would be, don't think I should probably have added water, but I think the extra bond, like I said, it's the bottom, and we just need it to be colored a little bit. But yeah, there's like not a good stopping point, and then this is so raw, like I had to really dust it to get like the little particle dust bunnies off. So at least sealing it in, you don't have to worry about the dust bunnies being attracted. That's not a dust bunny. I think that's somebody's hair. I'm just kind of going through the spots that necessarily you won't see the character, like with just the regular fusions, which is this little area. And can't hurt to try, right? Okay, so this is how much paint I have in the bayberry, so I'll mix up some water. Yeah, it always takes a lot less water for the bayberry. That was like half the water. I really like the color though. It's hard to really see until it's dry. And I put gloves on. Confusion paint does not like to come off your hands very well. It's a good paint. I just have a hard time getting it because it has the top coat in it to get the character that I'm looking for. So we'll see what ending the extra bond does to it. I'm not sure if I'm cursing myself, but I ended up adding a scoop of the sea spray texture Dixie Belle. I just was trying to I don't want to run out of paint. There's a whole bunch going on to this mixture. I might have created myself a nightmare. So I got extra bond in here. I've got sea spray in here with the Bayberry Homestead House and water. No time like the present. Let's just do it. Okay. I have gloves on, so go ahead. Yep. That paint's probably dry anyway, so. Definitely is going to need two coats. I think between the extra bond and so hopefully my paint doesn't weirdly thicken up. weirdly thicken up. Well, it doesn't seem to be thickening up on me like it's gonna dry out or anything. with all the stuff that I've put in this concoction. First coat is dry. Can't judge by the first coat because it's the first coat. it's the first coat. So let's get that second coat on and hope I have enough to go around. Did I crawl on the table? I did. That's as much as I have left. Now just let it dry. So unlike sweet pickins, it's just more of a texture. I wasn't really looking for some heavy crackling or anything. It will have character. So I'm going to go ahead and get it sanded and see what we got. Not worried. I think that'll match up just fine. Oh, slats. That's Just how it goes. Got to be done. Okay, it's time to wax now to really bring out the color. It's just like a perfectly imperfect with the distressing, the little bit of crackle, like you've got some pittiness from what the Homestead House paint does. But I think it's going to be beautiful. I'm testing it out on the back. This is the part that will amaze you. You think, there's no way that that color is going to match up with what was in that Fusions paint. There's no way. I was saying a prayer the entire time that it looked, I mean, they're both bayberries. Okay, there's your waxed. And there's how light it is unwaxed. Nutso, isn't it? So you can see that this is the part that I did the fusion. And then that, see where the fusion is up there, and then the milk paint is right there. And you're probably wondering, like, okay, so why, if you like the color, why didn't you just paint the whole thing with the fusion? I just can't distress fusion the way that I can distress milk paint to get it to look old and primitive. Let's go on to the other side. Like when you start to sand the fusion, it gets gummy. It makes a bump. It doesn't act the way that I want it to act. So this side is, waxed already. Then I touched it a little bit with the milk paint in the hopes that it was going to blend, and I don't think I'm going to have a problem. But that was the whole thing. Like even on like some of the fusion, I can see some brush strokes, even though I've sanded it a little bit, but it was getting, doing that gummy. So fusion to me is made, not really necessarily to distress, as it is just, you paint a piece. I like fusions, I like the colors, but I'm just showing you the difference of why I just like character. I like to add, there we go. I like to add character to a piece. Age, war, then when you do boo-boos on it, you don't have to worry about it. And this one already had boo-boos. So, and even here, as I'm working, it's blending wonderfully. So, what a difference wax makes, right? I mean, it's close, it's lighter, but it matches enough. And it's nice and thick. This is very thick, heavy wallpaper. So do a little release cut. That definitely helps you be able to get it in there. See? I think that'll be well protected. Just take a X-Acto knife and cut off. I like to push it into my edges, so I try to get as close as I can. To cut off the excess. Yep, it's mustache. I want, these are plastic. I want porcelain, plastic. 2 matching would be good. Yes, if you wait, you can seal in over wax. Especially since this is a kitchen item, I want to make sure that it is protected. He glued it, so it's my job to sand it. He's back at his job, because we let this sit overnight. Do I have bleach? Yes, I do. So after all that sanding, I have my ventilation on. Though, oh, that was a lot of sanding. I took a couple breaks, but look at that. So that's what the bleach is for. Now that we have the top coat off, a couple spots right there. So I'm just going to walk away and see what the bleach does. So I sanded, bleached the whole thing, 80 grit. Now I got to go in with 220. It did not, with that sitting underneath that stain, it did not, unfortunately. So it's a bummer. So I'm going to get some 220. I'm going to sand it smoother. And then when we put the butcher black oil on it, we'll see just what it does. It'll probably pop it out more, but this is where you sit your decorative bowl, I guess. I don't know.
Sure got a nice shot of my back.
Well, the casters that make it so nice. So such a show. It is dry now. Just see, if I would have sanded it, we wouldn't know exactly where it should have gone. All righty then. Chris said you need a tack cloth, and I'm like, I don't think I have a tack cloth. Apparently I do. Probably came in an auction haul. Probably. So it'll just be sticky enough to get the rest of the sanding dust that didn't blow off. And I'll just throw that packaging onto the floor. Do you want to do the honors of putting the oil on?
Definitely makes that grain pop, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I tried to get that spot out, but that's just where you'll stick your decor. So setting it in the middle of the island. That's all you can do is try your best. It's a secondhand item. Much cleaner now. The oil just made this wood just pop. Beautiful butcher block now. Storage. Usable. And the casters didn't make it too terribly tall. I mean, I'm only 5'7", so, and I think it's about maybe even a little bit shorter than what our island is. So I absolutely love it. Cool, label of love. I can't believe I made the paint. I don't know. It seemed to be on there between the extra bond, adding it in, and then the sea salt to thickening up because the extra bond made it really thin and I didn't have any other paint to add in with it. And I'm like, what can I use to thicken this paint up? Or I'm not going to have enough for 3 coats. I'm just going to be babying it along to get into the 2 coats. And yeah, the Bayberry Fusion and the Homestead House, I think they're kind of I don't know if they're sister companies or not. I just like to use it and I love the color. So, and I know I ordered more and Vonda said that they're out of it right now. It's kind of stuck at the border. So, but if you get your hands on that Bayberry color, it's pretty awesome. That's me. I like the character. I like older pieces. I like pieces that tell a story. I like pieces that you're like, you ran into the wall or a kid scraped up or you bruised, you oohed, and then you're not like, oh, it's just more character. It just added more character when you have this pristine painted piece and then it gets a boo-boo. Then you're like trying to fix it and trying to color match it. And if it already tells the story, you don't have to worry about it. That's my way of thinking. Anyway, each their own. So thanks for hanging out with me and Chris. Like I said, it was super heavy. I wouldn't have been able to move this piece around without Chris's help. It would have been a struggle for me, that's for sure. So thanks for watching. We will see you next time, and you can see what we're up to. Bye.